This is Public Access Signals from the Other Side, Part 3. Let's do some recapping from last time. So you currently have two active mysteries, the House on Escondido Street and the Deep Lake Lurker, and you made pretty good progress on both of them, actually. The House on Escondido Street, you did a lot more exploration of the house proper, and you currently have 3 clues. You used 3 of them to answer a question about Elliot Rappaport, who is now available as a reward because you were able to lure Elliot out of his wherever he's at. He is in the house still. He might be some kind of ghost or anomaly. We don't quite know yet. But in any case, that's what's going on there. Your question that you do have to answer in order to resolve the mystery, however, is what happened to the Rappaports. You'll recall that they disappeared 10 years ago. And Casey Wilcox, a friend of Elliot's, brought this to your attention since you're, hanging out in Deep Lake solving mysteries. If you answer this question successfully, you get to resolve the mystery by revealing the truth to Casey Wilcox. Very easy resolution. Then, if you wish, you can destroy the house at 18 Escondido Street or perform a ritual to banish the evil that resides there. Last time, you also found a working TV and VCR, despite the fact the house has no power, and were able to watch an Odyssey tape in the house on Escondido Street. The horrifying Blam 03. Blam 03, everybody blam. The Deep Lake Lurker is your other active mystery. This is the kind of the one about a girl named Jessica Stosky who disappeared in 1993, and her disappearance has linked up with local legends of a creature that might live in the Deep Lake, the actual lake that the town is named after. Your question here is the Deep Lake Lurker a horrid beast, or is it some form of Jessica Stosky? That unlocks the next appropriate question. It's complexity 4. You have spent some time, a fair amount of time already at the camp, this Pine Rock Ridge camp, and you met a few characters, which I've noted down in the notes there for side characters. You still have 2 keys available that are not on your sheet. So you have the key of the Cave Dweller for the house on Escondido Street, and you have the key of the Shutter for the Deep Lake Lurker. So those are available if you need to bump up a roll. If we look at the Latchkeys themselves, everyone is okay. Sean has 3 conditions right now, and Topher has 2. Nathan has 1, and Ashley is sitting free and clear with 0 conditions. I think we decided on Discord a few days ago that this is because Ashley aggressively represses things, and so is able to keep her conditions in check through unhealthy emotional behaviors. Maybe Daniel Kwan can help you out with that. So that's sort of where the characters are at from a condition standpoint. I also want to take a moment to point out some of the moves. We haven't talked about the moves too much. They have come up a few times, but I do think that we've seen Ashley's move in play. It's actually a really powerful move, which is thank you for being a friend. We have seen Nathan's research move in play a little bit in a very interesting scene at the library. Topher's move, I am error, is one we haven't talked about too much, and I'm not going to talk about it yet, but whenever it comes into play, it's going to change the story in a really big way. So just know that. And then Where's the Beef is a passive move, which is always in play because Sean is just a big, strong guy. So that is what's going on with the characters. Are there any questions or anything before we begin? Okay. Then if you hadn't done so already, please go ahead and change your Dawn questions if you want to, or you can leave them the same. We're going to kick off with the day phase. I will present a new mystery because there are less than 3 active mysteries. And so we will get going with that. I think that this is, again, like last time, taking place a few days after the events of the previous session. And so our new mystery, if you want to follow along, is called Starlight Kingdom. Built upon a mountain mining settlement just outside of town, Starlight Kingdom was supposed to be the destination that put Deep Lake on the map. At least that was the hope of Paul Greco, the eccentric philanthropist who founded the bizarre amusement park. Both a religious man and a paranormal enthusiast, he believed that alien encounters were all divine visitations. He hoped, with the creation of this dazzling amusement park, to, quote, inspire visitors with the glory of heaven on earth. The scope of the park was ambitious, with millions supposedly poured into early construction from anonymous donors, but the park never opened. After reports of internal disputes, Starlight Kingdom was abruptly shut down and fenced off just months before its planned opening. Rumors persisted about continued work on the park, but none proved fruitful, and Mr. Greco was never seen again. The promised Starlight Kingdom slowly crumbled over the years. In recent weeks, strange lights have begun to appear within the park at night. Visible just past the highway, they pulse and swarm in odd colors and patterns. Residents of Deep Lake who have seen the lights all seem to recall visiting Starlight Kingdom years ago, even though the park never opened. Maybe they finally fixed it up again, they say. But you know this simply isn't true. As children growing up in a small town, you were over the moon at the prospect of having your own amusement park just down the road, and devastated when it failed to open. I'm going to pose the following question to Nathan. You saw these strange lights back when you were a kid in Deep Lake. Something about your experience then convinces you these lights are not of this world, and that Paul Greco might have been influenced by some kind of unknowable force. What is it?
When Nathan saw the lights, it was at first like looking at the lights that you'd expect to see at amusement park. The kind of globular yellow, white colored lighting that at a distance seems like it is almost brighter than it should be, but it moved in a way that to this day, if Nathan remembers, he can't explain, but it was like almost you were on the cusp of understanding a pattern to the movements, almost like if you could see the wind and understand its movement, but then immediately the thought slipped like a fever dream almost. And it was like the first time he had touched something truly incomprehensible by a mortal mind.
Very interesting. Okay, I love it. You have a question here. Was the founder of the park influenced by an alien intelligence or a psychic anomaly? It's a complexity 4, and if you answer it, you get to unlock the next appropriate question. You also have a key here, the key of the neon lights. Each latchkey must recall an exciting destination they dreamed of visiting as a child, but never got to go to. And so this mystery is, I would say, like, maybe not as pressing as the other two. No one has come to you and said, help us with this. And it's something that's happening in the town. It's something that you've been made aware of, that some people are talking about. And so it might get you closer to TV Odyssey. So it might be worth looking into. In any case, it's there. Let's go around the table and figure out what everyone's interested in doing, and then we'll sort out the scenes. So I'm going to go in the order of people who have the most conditions, and that is Sean. So Sean, what do you want to do first?
I'd love to fit a nostalgic move in, but I think going to the lake would be the worst possible thing I could do to Sean. So
that sounds good. Yeah, good move. Nathan, I think you are the next or most conditions. Oh no, Topher is. Do I have that right? Let's see. Yeah, Topher, you have the next most conditions. What do you want to do today?
I'm thinking I might want to try and look into Escondido Street a little bit. I think Topher's kind of sick of the lake.
Fair enough. So heading back over to Escondido Street sounds good to me. Nathan.
Nathan hasn't been to the lake yet, and I feel like he's kind of being a little sick of Escondido Street, but he's also a little more interested in Starlight Kingdom as well. I figure that Nathan's probably going to go with the flow and probably get dragged somewhere. So I figure I will see what Ashley's doing, and then we'll see where Nathan's going.
Ashley, you're in a really good position to help out Sean with all of his conditions. So I don't know if maybe we want to have the nostalgic move with you and Sean. But in any case, I will ask you, what do you want to do?
Yeah, I'm fine with a nostalgia move. And I think, I mean, you can't give me an amusement park and not expect Ashley Oaks not to go, right? I have to go.
Even a decaying, decrepit one, right?
Exactly. It's still cool.
Okay, good. So it sounds like every mystery is being tended to, which is
Yeah, I
good.
definitely feel like Nathan's gonna probably he's not a big outdoorsy guy, not a big like lake guy. But he is a little interested in the urban exploration prospect of going to Starlight Kingdom, so he might go check that out. At the very least, drive down there and see if anything what's going on.
Yeah, sounds good. I love it. And it's also a chance to kind of like stretch the character's legs a little bit, right? We're kind of working in circles, like Escondido Street, all in one house, and then go a little bit further out, to the lake, and now really further out to Starlight Kingdom. Sean, do you know what you want to wax nostalgic about, or do you have an idea for what you might want to wax nostalgic about?
Oh, this was something happening at the house. In our between game chats, we've often talked about things that the Latchkeys would be doing at night, perhaps. And perhaps before everyone leaves, Sean may have subjected one or two people to a Jean-Claude Van Damme movie marathon.
Let's have that scene of maybe the two of you are like just finishing up the tape from last night. Maybe Ashley didn't make it through the entire Lionheart exhibition, and so it's being wrapped up right now. Let's just pick it up from there, if that's okay. We'll put the two of you together.
So what part did you fall asleep at? Do you remember when Leon went to help people, or was it before that?
It might have been before that.
Man, what about Bloodsport? Do you remember Bloodsport?
Yes.
Come on, Ashley. Come on. You can't sleep during these movies. You miss all the best parts. Did you
No,
see
you're
the
right.
splits?
Maybe we can do it again. And every time I start to fall asleep, you just pinch me.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, that sounds good. Right on.
Okay. She'll like roll up her sleeve, bravely baring her arm for you to punch.
I spent a lot of time trying to stretch so I could do the splits too, but I don't think I've got it in me.
How far can you go?
I think at this
can
point,
measure.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I don't think we need to measure. There's really just a clear bar of success here, but and I think Sean will put his hands on the coffee table and start trying to. It's been a while, and I'm not warmed up, and it's an impressive distance, but not that impressive.
It's really good.
Yeah, thanks.
Further than I can do it.
No way. You need some practice.
I mean, yeah, that's how everything works, right?
Well, yes, but also probably no.
If you try hard enough, if you just keep going at it, I'm sure everything's gonna be okay. That's how it works.
I think Sean will be moving to the stack of tapes he's brought, and he's like, so what's on the docket for tonight?
I mean, you pick the one that you think I really need to have seen. The one that is absolutely not allowed to sleep to.
Well,
even though I feel like that's sort of the purpose of movies, to sleep to them.
I'm not even going to touch that one. Okay, so Universal Soldier is a classic. Just you can't skip that one.
All right, let's do it.
I love it. how do we feel about conditions right now? Because per Ashley's move, thank you for being a friend. Sean, you can clear 2 conditions, or you can clear 1 and add the feeling good condition, which gives you a bonus if you burn it later.
I think this would just totally energize and kind of get Sean back in a good mind or headspace. So I think I'd clear confused and haunted.
Okay, sounds good.
Mhm.
And
I think Ashley
yeah.
is like totally like playing it up, right? Like all the big moments, like making sure she gives the big oohs and ahs and like playing it up a little, like she's falling asleep. So like Sean can pinch her and be like, no, I'm up, it's fine. It's like going a little over the top to cheer him up.
I love it. I have to point out in the chat that there was a side chat about like Sean learning how to do the splits so he can appear on Drag Race in 7 years, and we've decided, according to Steph, Sean's drag name is Jean-Claude Van Damme. It's very good. Okay, just want to share that with viewers. All right, we're having fun. Let's. Ashley, you get to pick you get to come up with a clue as well for any of the active mysteries. You get to stumble on it, maybe while watching Universal Soldier. I don't know. You decide. Let's click over to well, let's go to the house, Topher. So you can make contact with Elliot Rappaport if you wish. He's there to be contacted. You can keep looking around. There are other places in the house we haven't really taken a look at yet. I'll tell you about those. There is the girl Abigail's room. There is the master bedroom. We didn't really look around the basement, to be honest. Nathan was kind of in and out pretty fast. And you could maybe search around the backyard a little bit. Those are all some options, I suppose.
I think I want to try and Topher would like to try and talk to Elliot a little bit and maybe see if they can rope Elliot into a little adventure exploring the house.
Yeah, I like
Mostly
it.
because they don't necessarily want to be alone.
I think you can probably find the bag of Reese's peanut butter cups still there where you all left it a few days ago. And you can use that to lure Elliot out. I'm curious about the scene though. Like, what's your approach? Like, where are you going to try to find him?
I think that Topher might get like even a fresh bag of Reese's, but specifically one that they've refrigerated beforehand, so they're nice and cold.
Frozen Reese's are the best. Love them. So good.
And I think they're gonna go to just right in front of Elliot's door and put the Reese's out, and maybe one of those like little fortune teller games.
Oh, interesting. Okay. Tell me more about this game so I have a good understanding of what you mean.
So they're those little like I always called them like paper mouths because I put them on my hand and went.
Oh yeah, those little
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
those are fun. Okay, yeah, I like those. Yeah, that's good. So maybe like he doesn't speak, but he can communicate through these little I don't know what they're called, but those little paper things.
Yeah.
I think the door opens and you see him. He looks a little like tentative and nervous, and he looks just like he would have back then. He's still like 10. He is wearing I think he's probably wearing like a, I don't know, like a Transformers t-shirt or something, right? And he kind of approaches really carefully and he picks up the Reese's and he doesn't really like eat them. He just sort of makes the motions of eating them, sort of. And what do you do then?
I think that Topher's just gonna kind of sit cross-legged across from him, say, "Hey, Elliot, it's nice to see you. I don't think I got a chance to really meet you last night, or well, not last night, but a couple nights ago. Sort of freaked out by the scary movie we were watching."
He nods. He gives like a little tentative wave in acknowledgement. And he keeps looking at the little paper fortune teller thing. What do you do?
I made this little guy for you. I didn't know if you really like, I don't know, talk much. So I figured if you wanted, you could use this little thing. I didn't really write anything on it because I didn't know what you'd want on there, but I did, color in the little colors there. So
He holds it up and he kind of like presents it to you, and you know that you're supposed to pick a color, right? Or pick a thing so he can, do it. So what do you say?
let's go with purple.
He does the thing, PURPLE. He doesn't say it, but that's what he's doing. And then he gets to the number. What number do you pick?
7.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then he unfolds it. His eyes get wide. And then he shows it to you. And the paper says, "We aren't real."
Oh,
You did not write that on the Oracle. But I do want you to make the day move, though. What are you afraid is going to happen if you lose your nerve right now?
I think that she's it's a great question. I think she's worried that in sort of relation to the glitch in the lake again, I think she's worried that he's right.
Yeah. Roll with composure. No, sensitivity.
Okay.
And disadvantage because of the glitch in the lake.
Oof. This is just gonna make that 5 even worse. Yeah, no, it certainly did not do me any favors. Rolling at disadvantage, it's a 6 regardless.
You're sitting directly across from his closet door. He's sort of in between you, kind of at the threshold of his bedroom door. And the closet door just swings open, revealing a dark black maw. And he goes parchment white in the face when this happens. And he is just being dragged into the closet by some invisible force. He's making the motion of crying out, but no sound is coming out. So you just see the distress and on his face, and he's clawing at the carpet as he's being pulled into the closet. And then he gets into the closet, and it's just his little hand sticking out of the darkness, and he gets pulled in completely, and the door is just slammed shut.
Oh.
Meanwhile, Nathan and Ashley on the road to Starlight Kingdom. Whose car are you taking?
Probably Nathan's. I have my
Yeah.
Toyota Camry, if that existed in 2004.
I feel like Ashley drove once, and then everyone like collectively agreed that is never happening again.
Yeah, Nathan already has the frightened condition. He doesn't need more fear right now.
He doesn't need any more.
Ashley, what sorts of things does Nathan have in his car that are like very like LA?
Oh, that's a good question. I feel like there's still like some wrappers from food or delivery, or like a box that he bought and like didn't and they're like all these very like fancy trendy things that you definitely like wouldn't find here. like that kind of stuff.
It's just a bunch of In-N-Out wrappers thrown into the back seat.
Yeah. And Ashley's like, wow, it's
Pray
so
you don't have to listen to
fancy.
In-N-Out, listen to a story about In-N-Out for 30 minutes. Jesus Christ. No good. Sorry, keep going.
I think Ashley has her feet on the dashboard. And I think she's sort of like, no, I think she's like sort of like twisted around to the back seat and she's kind of like going through the stuff if she can find anything interesting.
I'm like trying to keep my eyes on Interstate 10 as we're driving down and just like looking over, like, what are you looking for back there?
I don't know. Maybe you forgot one of your drawings here.
I
I
mean, I
want to
highly
see what
doubt.
kind of stuff you make.
The stuff I make back there is not pretty. It's a mess.
I mean, that's what cars are supposed to be. They're always a mess, right?
Well, I mean, my
It just
car.
means that you.
Yeah. Well,
Do you know
I've always
what's-
kind of considered my car to be more like a landfill that happens to be surrounded by a Camry.
Do you know
That
what
works.
stresses me out when I'm watching movies, especially horror movies, but any movie really, is when there are characters driving in the car and the person who's driving looks away from the road, because you just know there's a better than 50% chance that the filmmakers are going to cause the car to crash or run into something, or a pylon is going to bust through the window and spear you dead.
Jason.
Nathan, you are just moments away from crashing into some road work being done on the road. You missed that there is road work happening and you were supposed to divert one exit ago. Please tell me how you react.
Okay. Is it like really close? Like, what kind of road work is it?
Like, this is not like, oh, come to a gentle break. You're gonna have to like veer or do something daring.
yeah.
Yeah.
I think he like hard like brakes to the point of like where the car has like skid a bit. And I think I did establish that at one point in his childhood he did live in Colorado, so he knows to turn into a skid when your car starts to drift. So he is going to try to brake hard and like in veer so he doesn't like lose control of the vehicle.
This is the day move with vitality, I would say. What are you afraid is going to
Mhm.
happen if you fail?
That we're gonna crash, or that
fair enough.
the car will roll, like
Indeed.
something like that.
Go ahead and roll.
Do we have a link to the die roller? I have physical dice. I can just roll those for now, but I will. Does frighten get in the way of this?
It sure does. Yeah.
Oh boy, I don't like that one bit. What do I have on me? Nothing that would assist me in this moment. All right, that's cool. I'll roll, and hopefully don't die. What is this plus? Sorry,
Vitality.
oh jeez, Nathan's a scrawny man.
Yep. And we established that Ashley is not in a secure position.
None of this is good.
Yeah.
That's I think that's a 5.
Yeah.
Ashley's going through the windshield.
I was gonna say she's going through. Oh,
Someone
no.
is. You hit the brakes hard. Ashley, you were not seat belted in, which is not good. And you basically hit like this like road highway repair, like kind of safety vehicle. Ironic. That's just catty corner, like parked T-bone on the road. You pull out of it enough to where at most you're going to be sore, Nathan. But Ashley, there's just a shattering of glass as you go flying and tumbling through the windshield. And I'm not going to kill you because that's not fair because it wasn't your role, but I am going to injure the hell out of you. And
Absolutely.
I think as you are there laying in a bunch of windshield glass with blood and bruises, Ashley, and the worker guy like freaking out, Nathan, you just see in your rearview mirror. First, it just looks like yellow, a big blob of yellow, until you realize it's a man approaching from behind the car, smoking a cigarette. Objects in the mirror are closer than they appear. Indeed, he taps on your window. And he says, "Are you all right in there, son?"
I think I'm gonna put on a turn a key.
Okay.
I like this guy. Can he stay in the narrative and actually not go through the
Just
windshield?
tell me if you're turning a key.
I'm turning a key. I'm gonna turn the key of the cave dweller.
Please, we'll come back to it, but please just describe how you're both going to be a little shaken at the end,
Yeah.
but you're otherwise safe. But we'll come back to this. Sean. Pine Rock Ridge. Rocking my Camp Crystal Lake shirt, Camp Counselor shirt today. Pine Rock Ridge. What's your it's the middle of the day, so the kids are probably like playing in the water or hiking or doing whatever. There's a lot of kids, a lot of camp counselors. We haven't really talked to there's the new owner of the camp who might be on site today as well. But yeah, what do you want to do? Where do you want to go? What's your approach here?
I think there's going to be at least a little bit of nostalgia in this for him, as well as some a little bit of trauma he might be poking the edges of. I think to start with, he'd like to take a look at where the bunks, maybe see if the thing he scratched into the wall is still there.
Oh, interesting. Okay. I think that there is a fortuitous thing here because you were staying in cabin 7, which is called Loon. That also happens to be the cabin where Jessica Stosky stayed in when she was at the camp. It was a girls' cabin then, but it kind of bounces back and forth between girls' cabins and boys' cabins. Right now, it's a boys' cabin. In any case, wooden bunk beds built into the cabin walls, crumpled up sleeping bags in various, shades of red and blue. Oh, actually, no, this is a girls' cabin still. Crumpled up sleeping bags in pinks, purples, and reds, hair care sets and fingernail polish strewn about. There's an old TV and VCR on a rolling stand as well. Let's paint the scene, everyone. Jessica did supposedly sleep in Loon Cabin. It has this sort of reputation in the local myth, right? How do the girls currently staying in Loon show that they would rather be sleeping anywhere else?
The cabin bathroom, the attached, where they shower and brush their teeth and all that, is the cleanest of any place in the camp, not because they're taking care of it, because anyone using it gets in and out as quickly as possible.
I think instead of sleeping in the camp provided sheets on the mattress, all of them have bedrolls and sleeping bags on top, so that should they need to move, they can just grab their sleeping bag and leave.
I think there is a notable absence of toys and stuffed animals.
Yeah, I think we see that one of the beds, in the front, there's a lot of damage done on purpose, aesthetic damage. They just want this to look really bad. So one of the camp counselors is gonna say they have to go somewhere else, but not actually get in trouble for damaging anything.
Nice. So Sean, you're in this girls' cabin. It's currently empty as far as you can tell. So that's probably good. Considering you're a grown-ass man who doesn't work there going into the girls' cabin. So what do you do?
I assume that the TV on the cart would not have been there during his stay.
No, it might have been. This looks like it's back from that era. Yeah.
In that case, you'd start by seeing what's on the cart. Are there any tapes? Any? What are the kids watching?
Make the meddling move. With probably just reason, I guess.
It's a 7.
I think you press play, maybe by accident, but you press play on the VCR and the volume is turned up all the way. And it is indeed that scene from the very end of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre when she's just running and screaming her head off, you know, for like 20 solid minutes. That just comes on and there's just like screaming, right? And to make matters more complicated, there is someone in the bathroom and they're freaking out because they hear this, and now you're in here, and that person in the bathroom starts yelling, I don't know who's, is someone playing a joke? What's going on? Is everything okay out there? I'm armed.
Sean will be pounding the stop button on the VCR, trying to make this end. And no, sorry, just accident.
And this like tween girl comes out. She has braids tied off with butterfly clips, a striped shirt and bright pink shirt, and kind of like kid hiking boots with pink laces. She's pretty young, 11, 12, something like that maybe. And she's like, oh, are you one of the counselors?
No, I'm actually an old camper here for just visiting.
Okay. Well,
This is a girls' cabin now, huh?
it is. Yeah.
Yeah.
It is. And she's sort of like kind of keeping things between you and her just for the time being, furniture and stuff. She says, sorry, I know I'm not supposed to be in here right now. I'm not. And you can tell she's kind of like basically trying to hide from the other kids, I think. Yeah.
I think that would be a posture, and that's something he's familiar with.
Yeah.
And he'd kind of keep his hands very visible and say, I came here as a kid. It was pretty awful, actually.
Yeah, I don't like this place, but it's like what you do when you're in Deep Lake, right?
Oh, not much else, is there?
Yeah,
Except for the arcade.
All the other kids are real pieces of shit, if I'm being honest.
Oh, some things don't change.
Oh, sorry. I shouldn't swear. My mom says I shouldn't swear.
You want to know secret?
Sure.
Your mom definitely swears.
I know she does. Yeah. She's a hypocrite about everything. Ah, fuck. I'm Josephine.
I'm Sean.
And she goes to shake your hand.
Very formal.
So, if you don't like this place, why'd you want to come back?
Yeah, that's a really good question. But
there's this weird boy here, Daniel. He says what you would be doing is trying to re-traumatize yourself.
Huh. I mean, yeah, maybe a little.
I don't know what that means, but best of luck with it, I guess.
Yeah. On that note, things still happen weird here around the lake.
Do the meddling move again. I owe you one clue already, but you can well, I'll give you another roll. Go ahead. With presence.
Oh, presence. That's a 4.
Very good. We'll come back to that. Topher. Elliot Rappaport just got violently dragged into the closet by an invisible force. What do you do?
So I know that this isn't typically how like keys and or masks work in this, but I think it would be very cool if as this is happening, Topher kind of shouts, "Wait, don't take him, take me instead." And then I mark the chromatic desert.
Oh, I kind of love it, actually. Oh, that's good. Yeah. Do you want to take that scene or do you want me to take that scene?
I would really love to know what you do with that.
Sure. So let's read the chromatic desert first. That's probably important just so everybody has the right context here. And it works a little differently for you because of your move, but for in general, the chromatic desert normally you would no longer be able to be perceived by other characters and all memory of you is erased. It's like you never existed. And you can't usually mark it out of order like this. You have to mark it after you've done a few other keys of desolation. But basically at that point, you just stop being perceivable and you can no longer be remembered. You still function in the game, but your clues have to be worked into the Odyssey tapes in order for the group to have them. Now, that part hasn't changed, but because of I Am Error, the other latchkeys, you get to mark chromatic desert whenever you want, for starters, and the other latchkeys don't forget who you are, and they can continue interacting with you as long as it's through a television. So there has to be a television nearby from here on out to communicate with Topher. You appear on whatever program is being watched on the TV, and you can hear people when they speak to you through a TV. When an Odyssey tape gets watched, your scenes can take place in the Odyssey tape scene. So you could be at Blam, right? Doing Blam stuff, right? If that's the tape we were watching. So that's to come. Sorry, dog. But for now, give me the moment. Give me again what you say to the darkness.
As Elliot's being dragged into the closet, Topher kind of like stands up, scattering the Reese's pieces. Says, "Wait, no, don't take him. Take me instead."
You hear a voice from behind you. It stops dragging Elliot, but there's someone behind you. It's the big man from the lake. He's not the one doing this, you can tell that. But he does say, "You do understand what's going to happen if you go down this road."
No, but he's been through enough, hasn't he?
Yes, I suppose so. You are going to have a rare opportunity, my friend. You're going to get to see what's on the other side. You're going to get to go to the transmitter. You get to see where the signal's coming from. That's not even something I myself have access to. I'm somewhat jealous, I must confess.
Well, I'll be sure to update you when I get there, I guess.
And he puts a big hand on your shoulder. It's huge. It like engulfs your shoulder. And he says, "There are things that hunger in the world, friend. Best to steer clear when you get there."
I'll make sure to keep it in mind.
And then the scene is like when you rewind a tape and you're watching it rewind. you just see Elliot very fast crawl back up to where he was with the Reese's peanut butter cup on his knees. And then you see Topher turn around and walk backwards really, really fast into the closet. Closet door closes. And it's over. Let's take a 5-minute break. Let's pick up with Ashley and Nathan. Nathan, please go ahead and describe how you do not crash, in fact. What happens here?
Yeah, he hard brakes, turns into the skid a little bit. And I think they still hit the safety vehicle. But the brake and skid is hard enough that they do get T-boned, but it's more of like a harsh tap than a slam into it. So like the side of Nathan's car gets a bit dented, but doesn't crumple like it would have otherwise.
Yeah, why don't you both take a condition sore just from the wreck, and this guy runs out to see if you're okay. Grab him real quick. He's wearing a safety vest and kind of a baggy uniform, and he has tattoos all over his body of desert wildlife. And he's like, hey, are you two okay?
I don't think Nathan knows how to breathe at this exact moment, so he's kind of just like white knuckling on the wheel.
He like points at the like down to get the window rolled down, right?
I roll the window down.
He's
yeah,
like,
I think we see a brief moment of Ashley just like staring with Nathan at this with like just pure fear in her eyes. And then I think she's like keying on the fact that Nathan's not functioning, and immediately like the smile is back and she'll like help you get the window back. She's like, we're fine, it's okay, we're
He's
fine.
like, no,
Right?
did you not see there were several signs saying that there.
It's okay, Nathan, you're fine, you're okay. Can you breathe?
Shit.
Okay.
Shit. Oh my
Did you
god,
break
no.
Anything? Any
No.
sharp pains?
No.
Okay,
No,
we're good.
I didn't see. I'm so sorry. I didn't see. I didn't see a fucking sign.
There were 3 signs. 3.
Fuck. No, no.
We need to get. I'm gonna call emergency services or something. You need to get somebody out here. You two could have a concussion.
I know we didn't hit the
We're
car that
okay.
hard. No, we didn't
We're
hit
fine,
it that
thank
hard.
you.
No, I have my insurance information somewhere in here.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
I'm shit. And I kind of like reach over to like fumble through the glove box. Nathan's hands are like shaking.
He says, I'm Ray, by the way, Ray Nakai.
Nice to meet you. Although the circumstances are a little
Yeah,
dodgy.
unfortunate. Yeah, absolutely. Well, yeah, okay.
Are
So
you hurt? Are you okay?
I'm fine. I was just over
Okay,
at the
good.
telephone pole. I wasn't near. I just heard it, but and he's like, so are the two of you like out here? You going like on a honeymoon or something, or what's going on?
That's funny. No. We're just
The amount of no's
park.
Ashley says is making Nathan so insecure about himself right now.
No, absolutely no way in hell. Whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, no. He's just a friend. We're
Yeah,
doing
no,
this.
we were driving. We were going.
Yeah.
We were going.
No.
Just driving. Going west.
Right. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Well, that's good. I thought maybe you were more of those people going out to watch the lights on the mountain.
Why? No, that
lights?
is where we were headed.
Is that a popular honeymoon destination?
No, like those lights that have started appearing over that old theme park. There's been people coming out like every
Okay,
other
but
day
why the
since.
honeymoon? Why did you? Anyway, never mind. The lights. Yes. What about the lights?
So are you here to come out and go look at Starlight Kingdom? Is that what's going on here, or what?
No, yeah.
Depends on who's asking.
Yeah. Okay. And then I think at this point, oh, let me think. I think a song comes on the radio. A song that is very popular in 2004. Would it be like Milkshake, maybe? Possibly. I can't remember what year that came out. But some song comes on, and he has like a little camcorder thing, and he's like, hold on a second. I think videos are the future. There's a future coming
So
where we're
what?
all going to watch videos on the internet. Trust me. And he sets up his little camcorder and he starts like doing a dance to the song.
What is happening? What is happening? Wait, what is happening? We just got in an accident. What is Nathan's having a breakdown? He's having a panic attack. This makes no sense to him.
It's okay. It's okay. Just and I think Ashley will like take your hand, like she went over and like put it to her chest and just like start breathing in and out. It's okay. You're okay. We're okay.
Sir, why are we inexplicably dancing?
He's like, it's nothing. It's just, it's
Okay.
nothing. I just had like I don't know. It's nothing. Don't worry about it.
Okay, yeah.
Don't worry about it. It's
not
it's-
going to. Kind of other things I'm worrying about at the moment. Here's
He's
my
like-
insurance card, by the way.
Yeah, you bet. Yeah, of course. Yeah. Do you guys ever have like dreams?
Okay,
Sure do.
yeah, all the time.
What about you?
Like dreams.
What kind
that,
of dreams do you have?
Like tell the future dreams. You ever have dreams like that?
Mhm.
Mhm,
Yeah. Do
mhm.
you?
Sure. Okay.
Like
What does the future hold?
Sometimes I think we're like really close to like something cool,
Mhm.
and I try to get ahead of it. Use
What
my
is that?
insight to get ahead of
What
it.
cool thing is gonna happen to us?
Videos, man. It's
Uh-huh.
all gonna be about videos.
It's all
and
gonna be like dance videos, or
all kinds of
is that
videos.
just like, are you making your niche already? Like you want to be ahead of the curve and your thing is gonna be dance videos?
And he says, I was told I shouldn't talk about this to anyone, so I probably shouldn't say anything more.
I mean, I'm concussed, so you can say whatever you want to me, and I'm not gonna be remembering it in like 3 seconds. Come on.
There's this guy from the future. I think he talks to me in my dreams, and he tells me that like it's gonna be a really big deal in the future of people like making videos of themselves.
A guy
Mhm.
talks to you in your dreams about the future of video.
Yes. Well,
Okay.
all kinds of things, actually. Yeah. Did
So,
you know you're gonna be able to access the entire World Wide Web from your phone someday?
highly doubt that.
Really?
Yeah, the whole thing. Yeah.
Okay, who is this person that tells you about the future of
Anyway,
entertainment?
So you ran into my service vehicle and we need to get that sorted out. You sure I don't need to call somebody for you?
We're fine.
Cool. All right, great. Love it. Yeah, great.
So that's my contact information and my insurance details. So if nothing, we're good to go.
He's like, oh, I recognize your
well-
name. Nathan Toomey. Yeah.
Have we
You're
met
famous,
before?
Nathan.
I don't want to be in this situation.
Oh man.
I'm sorry, have we
Um,
met before?
Nathan, the year 2012 is going to be a really big year for you.
Nathan. That's like, usually you pay for this kind of stuff and you just got it for free.
I don't want to go all Cyclops on you, but like, it's going to be your last big year too. But everyone's going to know your name,
Oh.
so there's that.
That's a little mean.
Okay. All right.
How are you feeling, Nathan?
Okay. I think it's a stew of things, but I think the most accurate term is to say he's fully derealizing, because this is the most surreal, random, and nonsensical experience he's had in a long time, which says a lot.
take a condition that reflects this feeling.
Yeah,
You can-
derealization.
Yeah.
I think right before we go, Ashley will kind of like try to lean out and be like, before we go, did the man tell you anything about the lights?
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, well, I think that this is the beginning. The beginning of something really big. It's starting here in Deep Lake, in Degoya County.
Always knew.
I'm not the only one who sees it, by the way. Part of my job is to come out here and take down all the signs that people put up, you know, people who think aliens are coming to, you know, transubstantiate us or whatever.
What, did they do the same thing done in Roswell?
Man, that Roswell stuff. Never mind. You guys be careful out there, okay?
Yeah, you too. And I think in most states they put cones leading to the exit before the
Three
road
signs.
work.
3 signs.
Yeah,
3.
Signed. No
Spaced
cones.
out.
No cones. You cones.
It's okay. We're fine. That's all right.
Fucking
Does the
state
car
funding
still
here has gone to
work?
shit. Okay. Yeah. All right.
Don't be mean. It's okay.
I'm putting the car into reverse and backing up and brutally staring out the windshield.
Let's check in
Oh
with
boy.
Sean. Sean, I owe you a clue. Let me give you that now. From the Deep Lake Lurker. Ba, 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 ba. And there is a map that the girls had spread out on a table. The map is a map of the Deep Lake Nature Preserve, which is nearby. And the map is covered in symbols that are, they're like sort of symbolic representations of eyes drawn with Sharpie in different places on the map. Do you take the map?
Yeah. I think he'll kind of point at it to Josephine before starting to fold it up and like this okay?
Yeah, sure. Oh, hey, look, the tape started again. And on the TV, you can see the scene played out with Topher and Elliot and the closet on Escondido Street. You see Topher, you see Elliot being dragged into the closet, and you see Topher say, "Take me instead." And then Topher briefly looks over their shoulder. You can't see what's there, just out of frame. And then it's like the tape is rewinding, and you see Topher pulled into the closet door shuts. And then the tape hits play, and we see Elliot using crayons to color on a coloring book in his room. The closet door is still closed. He keeps looking up at someone who's like talking to him out of frame, and he kind of nods and goes back to coloring. And then you see, walking into frame, Jessica Stosky. She's wearing her Blam outfit, and the tape pauses. Josephine says, "Well, that was weird. You look a little shaken, though. Are you okay? Do you need to go sit down and process your emotions?"
Actually, yeah. I'm Sean's gonna try and take the tape.
It's paused currently.
Oh no, he's gonna press play.
Jessica speaks into the camera as if speaking directly to you, Sean. She says, she turns to the closet door and says, they're no longer a suitable victim. You have to wade into the waters of the lake if you ever want those closet doors to open up again. And then the tape stops.
Then he's going to eject and take it.
It is just a copy of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
He'll turn back to Josephine and say, "Did that girl? Did she look familiar?"
She says, I think I know what's going on here.
That's good because I don't.
I saw it last night. The light near
Saw
the
it.
docks, the light near the docks was flickering, and I looked out, and there was like a fish head sticking out of the water. Like big. I haven't told any of the camp counselors, but I told some of the kids, and they've been making fun of me about it.
Yeah, the camp counselors won't believe you, but I do.
This is related to that, isn't it?
Yeah, I think it is.
So are you going to go in the water or what?
I don't want to, but I need to talk to my friends. I think. Yeah, and you just don't go in the water, okay? And your friends, tell them not to go in the water.
I saw a giant fish in there last night. Do you think I'm going to go in the water?
Fair. Yeah, good point. You're smarter than that.
And yeah, I think she just like will follow you out as you're going out of Loon. And you see some camp counselors kind of just like talking, laughing, kind of, just effing around like teenagers do. You're not much older than them, to be fair, but and there's some kids near them, near the bank of the lake. And one of the kids like slips and falls in, and the camp counselors don't notice. The kid is just there, like flailing around in the water. What do you do?
He's gonna yell, "Hey, hey!" and just take off at a dead run for the kid.
I think as you are taking off, there is a fire alarm going off in what's it called? In the mess hall in Pinecone Hall. And so the camp counselors run towards that while you're running towards the lake. A couple of the little kids are just like laughing at this kid who might be drowning. And like, are you going to go in and the kid's not far in? You can just go in there and grab him.
Yep.
And as you can bring him back up, no trouble. And Josephine is there and she says, you did it. You're the next victim.
Sean will turn to her and say, "Yeah, been there before."
Indeed, you are. Topher, you will erase that condition, and it goes to Sean. This condition cannot be cleared unless you resolve this mystery or give it to somebody else by convincing them to go in the lake. Topher. You're looking at the inside of Loon. It's empty. And in the doorway of the bathroom, you just see the big man smoking a cigarette in the girl's cabin. And he just waves at you. And then he walks up and turns the TV off. So Topher, you're able to come out of the closet now, and you're able to walk around and interact with things in a more or less normal way. It's just that no one sees you, and the way you affect the world is probably kind of like a poltergeist would, right? So what do you do? First of all, how do you know you're in a different state?
I think he looks down at his hands and the rest of his body and realizes, oh shit, I really am the glitch in the lake now, as they're kind of fuzzing in and out. And I think he's going to just walk up to Elliot and sit down next to him and not really say much as he's trying to process what the hell just happened.
Elliot does not turn and look at you. He's still coloring. But he does move his hand over and put his hand on your hand.
I think he grabs it and kind of squeezes it tight. And he looks to Elliot and says, you know, Casey's been wondering about you.
And he looks up at you and he says, I know. I see him sometimes. Out the window. Sometimes I try to get his attention, but I don't think he sees me. But sometimes I think he does. One time he actually came up to the window. I tried to show myself. I tried to get his attention to show him I was in here, but then I had to go back in the closet.
I have a feeling you won't need to go back in there anymore for at least a while.
He nods. Ashley and Nathan, your eventful journey
Yes.
continuing on.
I'll say real quick. I originally said I was going to turn the key of the cave dweller. If it's all right, I think I was actually going to switch that to key of the fathomless well
Oh,
for the key of
okay.
desolation. Yeah.
Okay, sure. Yeah. What does that one do?
That one just increases my reason by, decreases my reason and increases my sensitivity.
Yeah, very good.
Yeah.
Are you okay
'cause
with that?
Oh, I'm fine with that because I'm one step closer to the wandering monolith, which I'm very excited for.
Okay, very good.
Yeah.
Starlight Kingdom. We'll have a scene or two in there and then we'll call it a day phase. So I think when you arrive, the thing that stands out most is there is this large structure that towers over the park with curved arches like the exposed ribs of a giant. It is called the Ark. Its unfinished domed roof glittering with stained glass fragments, rusty patches under peeling chrome. There is also a crop circle maze as well. And there's a ride, the only fully constructed ride before they decided to abandon the project, the Heavenly Descent. There's a few other little buildings that are still standing too, but that's what you kind of see at a glance as you pull up. I think when you pull up, you actually see a band like there just past the front gate. They have all their equipment set up and they have a bunch of cameras like they're filming a video. It's day for it apparently. And this band, they have like psychedelic patterned robes and spiked leather straps, snake-like hair extensions, retro hacker gloves, and other kind of DIY cyberpunk accessories on them. They are there shooting a music video, it seems like. do either of you have any kind of takes you back connected to music?
I have a Walkman connection.
I'll take it. You recognize this band. This is Psychic Narwhal Messiah, a post-industrial glitch punk noise performance collective. They're kind of a big deal in LA right now.
Holy
What do you
shit.
do?
I feel like as we're getting out of the car, like Nathan just kind of like, at first it's very dismissive. It's like, oh boy, the future of video is for everybody, I guess. And then he sees like recognizes the stuff. He's like, no. And he kind of just, without kind of realizing he's doing it, just begins to like walk over there, just kind of leaving Ashley where she was.
Ashley, what are you doing?
I think throughout the ride, she's kind of just been very pointedly looking outside, even though I think any conversation was still upbeat, but been sort of avoiding eye contact. And I think even now she's kind of like staring off, and it takes her like a moment to realize that Nathan is walking off. And I think she like kind of follows, but she's trailing behind a little bit, just like not wanting to leave him alone, but not really wanting to be pulled into the conversation either.
So Nathan, I think they're like they're kind of checking sound levels and stuff, you know, and there's like a distortion noise, you know, kind of a feedback noise. And one of the band members is like, whoa, do you hear that distortion? I'm telling you, there's some kind of different signal out here, man. Oh, keep that loop going. That feedback pattern is unreal. And then like you can kind of hear the sound going. And the director of the video is like, just a reminder, we're not actually recording the audio for the video right now. We just need the video part. We'll put the music in later. And then they correct him because they don't make music. They make, they're a noise collective and so on and so forth. What do you do, Nathan?
I mean, like he's aware enough not to just wander right through their work, but he is notably on there, like on the periphery, just kind of like just watching.
You see all of Psychic Narwhal Messiah, all the band members, Ash, Orion, Y2K, Splice, Lord Prawn, the Ambassador, Sparkle Raptor, they're all there.
I think,
You
yeah,
know
Nathan's
this
just,
band?
oh, he jumps when not. Yeah, no.
Still here.
Oh my God, no, I'm sorry. Shit.
No, that's cool. You know these
No, I
people?
kind of they're from LA. I saw them at
Oh,
I saw them
fancy
briefly.
people.
Well, they're like a big deal out there. I've only seen them a couple times. Not really my thing, but I mean, it's unique. They're
Okay.
yeah. So I don't know how they somehow got into the Hollywood Bowl. I don't know how that happened, but like
I'll grab Nathan's hand to make it like, oh hi. Sorry
what are you doing?
to bother you.
What are
We're
you
just
doing?
huge fans.
Let go of
And
me.
I was just wondering if my friend could get an autograph. That would be so sweet. Thank you. We're huge fans.
And yeah, that's good. Nathan, replace your frightened condition with starstruck.
Okay.
Sean, how do you know that whatever is in the lake has targeted you next?
Sean is a fitness enthusiast, obviously, but he's never been much for swimming. And even back when he was a kid, he didn't like that part of camp. That wasn't the big draw. But just like back then, that morning before he just decided out of the blue to take a dip, he has this urge to immerse himself in water, and it doesn't feel innocuous anymore.
Very interesting indeed. And Topher, what do you do when you're done with Elliot Rappaport?
I think I want to go check out the VCR in the TV room now. I think
Very
Topher's
interesting.
feeling somewhat drawn to it.
Indeed. I think that as you approach the television in the TV room, what are the chances, probably low, but maybe who knows, what are the chances that you all forgot to take the tape out of the VCR?
I
And
think they're pretty high,
we're too
actually.
freaked out to go back and get it.
I feel like they're pretty high. We were all kind of like riding that adrenaline lightning, if I'm remembering correctly.
I think we just see the VCR press play, and you are suddenly in the Blam studio, Topher. The kids are all around you, saying their little song, doing their little thing. And they're like, I think Jessie runs up. Hi, I'm Jessie. And she does a little twirl, and she pulls her arm away from Leo, and she does a little thing, and then she turns to you, Topher, and says, hey, I'm Jessie. Your friend Sean, he's about to die.
He's what?
And then the song is still going, and the kids are dancing around you.
I think Topher's instinct. I think she grabs Leo. And I think he's gonna be like, I know you're part of what's messed up here. I need you to take me to that lake right now.
Leo just gets this like wide grin on his face because someone's talking to him, like even if it's not like necessarily friendly. I think he's sort of like smiles, and his skull just starts to split open in front of you. It just cracks open and shit begins oozing out of it, and he just bellows like he does on the end of the tape. I'm hungry.
I put a Reese's peanut butter cup in his head.
Indeed. Nathan and Ashley, we're going to end our day phase with Nathan. I think this actually goes really well. I think Ashley wins you like a. You guys are spending the afternoon with Psychic Narwhal Messiah. What's going on?
It's a good question. Nathan's been asking that all day. What is going on? I feel like so much. Nathan is so derealized that it's mostly just like washing over him, and he's just kind of going with it like on autopilot. And to the point where he's just kind of rolling with whatever. He's very chill and breaking down on the inside, but outside he's just cool and calm. I think that like probably asks them about like what they're doing here, like they've seen anything cool looking around. Probably remarks that like, I'm surprised that the cops or whoever haven't like cordoned this place off. Like people just come and go. Did you have to break a padlock to get in here?
I think Sparkle Raptor, she says to you, this is after you've all introduced yourselves and stuff. And she's like, we actually were just driving through. We weren't even supposed to stop here. But then somebody back at that juice bar down the road was like, there's all kinds of lights and stuff going on. And so we thought we would get some daytime shots for our video. And we're going to come back tonight too. we're gonna see the show ourselves, maybe even contribute to it a little bit. And then she like presses a button on her little jumper, and her hair extensions start glowing neon pink. And she says, and I don't know about you, but I'm gonna go in that building right there. And she points to this building. It's just like a cinder block building. It's totally nondescript compared to everything else around it. She says, it sticks out because it's so different from everything else. There's something going on in there. That's where I'm going
In
tonight.
plain sight.
Absolutely. You got it. That's exactly right.
Mhm. That is exactly right.
Yeah. Oh, very cool. Very cool. Yeah. Yeah, totally. That's awesome. Yeah. I like the kind of like post-apocalyptic vibe you guys are getting from this place. No, yeah, I
Do
got
you-
it from the cat claw you were doing before.
Do you
Raptor.
maybe need like extras for the video? Because we
Yeah.
are
Oh,
free.
yeah.
We can do
We're
it.
super busy. We're super busy.
We are never too busy for
Come back
these
tonight.
people.
It'll be great. Yeah, come back tonight. It's so cool.
We will absolutely do that. And we'll be in a video. And I would kind of like nudge Nathan of the band that you like and whose name I totally remember.
Sounds so cool.
Right?
Yeah. Nice meeting you guys. We should probably go for now. And maybe I guess we're coming back later.
I think if it's okay, I'd like a little bit of a follow-up scene as we're like going back. I think Ashley will be like, what was that? We got you like to be in the video with a band that you really like. And like that's cool. That's all you got to say.
For a while, Nathan is just like staring ahead, just doing like light nods of like the yep, half listening before, and just kind of drumming his fingers on the wheel. And then he just goes, what the fuck was that?
What? What was what?
Okay, let's take it back. We were in a car crash, had a really weird
Yes.
conversation with a maintenance worker. And on the drive over, you didn't say anything. You were just staring out the window. I was staring out the window, and everything's fine and everything's cool. And then I get there and you grab my hand and forcibly put me in a social situation that I don't do good with that. And I don't know. I'm being the asshole right now.
I mean, you kind of are. I'm just trying, you know. You think I don't think this is freaky? You think I haven't been fucking freaking out? But
Then
I'm
why the fuck
trying.
don't you
I'm
act like it?
smiling, I'm trying, and you're just being here, being this huge dick who can't even like freaking smile when I get you in the music video of that stupid fucking band that
Oh,
apparently you like, because of course you like it, because you're from LA and you're so cool and you're too cool for all of us and for feelings and for social situations.
oh,
but
fuck
I'm
you,
trying, and
Ashley.
you should try too.
Fuck you.
Fuck you.
First of all, I don't like their sound, okay? It's weird, it's unique, it's kind of cool, but it's not my kind of music, first of all. Second of all, smiling through things and just pretending everything's okay. And let's approach everything with optimism and a cool head and enthusiasm is not a fucking healthy way to approach how weird and unnatural
this
this
is
shit
better.
has been.
This is better.
I don't know what's
At
better
least
at this
I'm
point.
not always hurting people. At least I'm not always making them uncomfortable with how I act.
I think at this point, Nathan just kind of screams, fuck, and just like slams on the brakes, pulls over to the side of the road, gets out of the car and just walks into the open desert for like a couple dozen feet before just having to like go through like a little panic attack and just breathe really heavy to steady himself.
I think we just see like Ashley burying her face in her hands, and it goes, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Don't go. Don't go. Don't go. I'm sorry.
There's a moment before eventually he does like turn around, like his hands fall by his side, and you can tell that like he's there is no anger on his face. It's just like pure like overwhelmed panic. And he just kind of like turns around and just hands numbly by the side. Kind of walks slowly back towards the car.
It feels like scene.
Yeah, I was gonna say he gets back in the
Yeah.
car, sits down, and then
Mhm.
just kind of quietly just says, I'm not going anywhere. And then turns the key and merges back onto the highway to continue driving.
Let's go to the dusk phase. I don't think we have any moves that fire off during the dusk phase, do we? I didn't know there are any in the game that do. I just have it in there as a just in case, I guess.
So we
Future proof
don't
it.
have moves, but I do still have to make up a clue. So maybe
Oh, yeah,
that
okay,
is a
yeah.
good time to do
We
it
should
now.
do that at some point. Yeah. Well, have you thought of what it
Yeah.
is?
Yeah, I think I will make one up for Escondido Street. And
Okay,
I
what'd
think
you
like
find?
as Ashley and Sean were watching the movie, there's like this big explosion, like going on. And I think just very briefly in that explosion, Ashley sees like this face of a small girl, and it just says, I've returned home. And that's it.
Fantastic. I love it. Let's keep going with our phase here. So you can attempt to answer a question if you wish. Actually, no, you have to first decide if you're going to watch an Odyssey tape or not. Odyssey
No.
tape, or are we going?
I don't think the vibes are there for an Odyssey tape
Odyssey
tonight.
tape? Yeah.
No.
not tonight. So what is everyone going to do
Let's try
then?
and solve something. Let's
Do we want to try to answer a question first?
Yeah, I think we can probably answer the first
Deep Lake.
Yeah, the first Deep Lake.
We've got so many clues for that.
Do you all want a few minutes to think about it and then come back and do it then? Or
Yeah, that'd be great.
yeah, let's take like
That'd be
10. We'll
great.
come back and we'll do that. All right, see you in a bit.
All right.
Okay, we're still in the dusk phase, and it sounds like you're all coming up with a answer for the first question on the Deep Lake Lurker, which is the Deep Lake Lurker a horrid beast or a transformed Jessica Stosky? This is a complexity 4. Who has a thought?
Take it away, Nathan.
Okay. So our thought so far is that it is a transformed Jessica Stosky. And specifically, using the clue of the map of the nature preserve with the covered in symbols of eyes, the lake, Deep Lake itself, has an entity that lives kind of within it and kind of beyond it. Deep Lake is connected to one of the many otherworldly extra-dimensional signals that resonate throughout this landscape. Specifically, it has a strong connection to the pure white signal, to death and to the oblivion beyond all things. The entity that lives there, or lived past tense, was because Nathan's a fucking Lord of the Rings nerd, he'd call it the Watcher in the Water. And that is what it is. For years it would observe, watch things from the reflections of the lake, and the lake itself is psychically resonant, has this great manifestation of energy that people who visit it connect to in subtle ways they don't understand. The summer camp, childlike imagination, families who visit the lake, their memories, their love, their enjoyment, all swirls in a tempest of psychic energy that also the watcher feeds off of. And that energy connects to everybody. So that's how Nathan was painting the tall ship, was because as he was painting at that exact moment at the camp, there was a kid thinking about pirates, and that imagination, that psychic link subtly leaked into Nathan's mind as well. Now, Jessica, prior to her disappearance, was selected among other local kids to appear on an episode of Blam that was being filmed at TV Odyssey.
Right.
And she was the one selected for Blamorama. She was something that was some kind of transformation or some kind of activity that was about to happen to her. We still don't know what that is, but whatever it was changed her a little bit. because prior to that, all the other kids who had went missing, they were all just taken by the Watcher in the Water, taken into the pure white signal, fed on by the entity. But when Jessica was taken, something happened. The two of them merged. This signal entity merged with this child who had changed slightly, and they kind of became one. The Watcher's been wanting to escape the lake for a while as well. And Jessica, after being taken, she just wants to go home. And so the two ideas she's reemerged lately because this connection has manifested even stronger. So the night she went missing was the enormous light she saw in the water was the pure white signal of the Watcher emerging from its layer on the other side and pulling her under.
Oh, I see.
So
Very
that's 4
interesting.
clues incorporated. I'm also willing to incorporate the bird singing Ashley's favorite song is further evidence of this like psychic connection.
Oh, I see.
Of the environment.
The lake is watching you and giving you what you want. Yeah, that's interesting.
All things that live in the area kind of connect on the same level. So the birds were singing the song that they picked up. They caught that signal from Ashley.
I love it. It's a +1, pretty good roll, especially for a threshold question. Yeah.
If anyone else wants to throw either of our clues into the mix, please do.
No, I think those are probably better saved for now.
Sounds like everyone agrees with the thrust of the theory here, though. Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay, well, go ahead and roll +1.
Am I making the roll? Or someone else want to?
Don't know what I mean.
I can click the button.
You're the glitch in the lake now, so please do it.
Hey. 9.
Fantastic. It is correct. And it unlocks the next question, which is, so we're saying it's to transform Jessica Stosky then? Ultimately? Yeah.
Yep.
The question is, how does the lake choose its victims? It's a complexity 4. Resolve the mystery by confronting Jessica Stosky and then performing a ritual to break the curse on the lake. So essentially, it's kind of like you have to make contact with Jessica by essentially luring Jessica to you and then figuring out what to do about her, thereby figuring out what to do about the situation. I love it. It's great. I'm supposed to give you kind of a complication, which I'll think about it as we go, but that's sort of where things are standing with that. Any other questions, or are we good for now? In that case, we'll continue on with our phase. What is everyone doing tonight?
I think that Topher is going to try and figure out a way to talk to Sean.
I have an idea for that, and since it's the night phase, I will make it happen. Sean, what are you gonna do?
Where would it be most conducive for Sean to be for your plan?
In front of a TV. That's the only place it can be.
Fair. In that case, it's probably not a good time at night to be going back to Loon Cabin. So let's go back to the house on Escondido Street.
Very interesting. Ashley, what are you going to do tonight?
That is such a good question. Do we notice that Topher is gone? Because I would probably be looking for Topher.
If
Or is
Sean
it like,
got back-
it's kind of normal for us to be out for a little bit?
We'll
I
assume
wouldn't
that
be
Sean
worried.
will share what he saw on
Okay.
the video in Loon
Yeah.
Cabin, right? Which we don't know. I mean, Sean doesn't have any reason to know that that's exactly what happened, but it's at least indicative of something, right?
I guess I'll go to the theme park. I'm honestly fine with wherever.
Nathan, are you actually going to go be part of the nighttime video shoot?
That's such a good question. I think there's a moment when Nathan gets like back for a while where he just like locks himself in his room and just kind of is just in there for a while, compromised. But there is a moment as it starts to get dark outside where he kind of thinks about it. And he's like, fuck it. and like will grab his keys and he'll want to go. And he'll, if nothing else, like he was getting ready to like, lock himself in, listen to music and like paint, but then he just kind of gets that art block and he's just like, you know what, screw it. Why not? Let's go see what happens. Yeah, let's see.
I love it. Let's just dive right in
I
then.
think actually, if Nathan is going, then Ashley will not go.
Okay.
I figured.
Then I think Ashley is going to the lake.
Oh, interesting. Okay. Why don't we start with Sean? Sean, as you're kind of walking up to Escondido Street, which is like a very short walk from where your house is on Rodenbecker Street. It's just basically one street over. You see Casey Wilcox. Casey Wilcox is presently trying to climb into a window. You can see his flame print jinkos hanging out of the window as you come up. What do you do?
Sean will just kind of just approach right openly and say, I still have a key,
He's
actually.
like, oh shit. And he like kind of falls down out of the window. He's like, oh man, you can't just like
Sorry.
sneak up on people like that. Oh.
Yeah, sorry. Should have given you a warning. Sorry.
Sean, I think I saw him.
Saw
Elliot. Yeah, Elliot. I saw him.
Yeah, I should have told you about that.
Huh?
Yeah.
What?
We saw Elliot. We found Elliot, kind of.
But he so I
You want to come inside with me?
I don't want to, but I'm going to.
No, that's great. I could use another pair of eyes.
He is absolutely drenched in Curve pour homme, just so you know. And like he has this, he's got this like smell, right? Like and he looks like he was maybe like on his way somewhere, because he's kind of like dressed kind of nice, well, Casey Wilcox nice at least, his hair is combed and everything. And he's like, so what are you doing here tonight?
I have to look into something. A friend of mine was here poking around earlier, and
so you said you saw Elliot. I saw him too, but he was like a kid. I thought I was just imagining things, but like, did you see, is it a ghost?
You want to know the answer to that, Casey, or
I don't know. I don't know, man. I'm just confused. I don't know what's going on.
I don't know what he is, but he's still here, and he likes Matchbox cars, and he's shy.
Yeah, that's Elliot. Huh. Okay.
Ghost is the best I got.
And I think when you go in, you see the grayish blue glow of the television in the TV room. It's on. And he says, I figured they would have cut the power to this place by now. How is the TV on?
Yeah, it's a real neat trick.
There's a cooking show going. It's a local TV show, not an Odyssey tape. Little local, kind of serves the region kind of news program. And it's a like evening news program, but they're doing a cooking segment for some reason at night. And the lady on the cooking show, she's kind of very like coiffed with, kind of news anchor woman hair, but she has a little apron on. So, it's time to cook over her, business, suit. And she says, all right, so we are back. We are here with our guest, Topher Fontenot. Hi, Topher. Thanks for coming on.
Hey, thanks, Sherry. Glad to be here. What are we making today?
So we're doing brownies in a mug. Can you believe it? Brownies in a mug. What will they think of next?
I certainly can. Let me tell you, I had some the other night. Not fantastic, but it was great at making them with my friends.
Oh, and that's what it's all about, right? It's all about friends and good feeling. My goodness. I mean, you got to really embrace friends whenever you can because you never know when they're going to die.
Exactly. That's what I've been saying. You know, I think one of my friends, Sean, might be in the audience tonight, actually.
I think I see him right there. I also see someone else who's about to touch the pure white signal. Wouldn't that be great, folks? Ha 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 ha. And the audience laughs. Ha 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 ha. Let's get these brownies made before the house goes batshit. And
I think like when this begins, Sean glances up and then looks down. He's looking at the Reese's cup wrappers and trying to kind of piece together. And it's only when his name is mentioned that he looks up again and everything kind of falls into place. And he just turns to Casey and says, "Do you hear? Did you see that? Is that on for you?"
well, I mean, yeah, well, it just looks like it's some cooking thing on here. I'll just turn it off. And
No,
he goes,
do not turn it off.
Oh, okay, fine. I'm not, okay, fine. God, this place gives me the creeps. Jeez, he's going for a light and the light's not coming on. He's like, oh, that's weird. He kind of goes for another light. He's like, how come none of the lights are working? How come the TV's working, but none of the lights are working? This doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, just wait till you see it's not even plugged in. And he's just gonna take a seat in front of the TV and just Topher.
We'll have a scene with the two of you in a bit. Nathan, out at Starlight Kingdom at night, just you and Psychic Narwhal Messiah. And a few other people too. There's a bunch of like kind of, like kind of flat earther weirdos and other like kind of, tinfoil hat types there, kind of.
Can I get the names of the band members one more time?
Oh, of course. It's Ash, Orion, Y2K, Splice, Lord Prawn, the Ambassador, and Sparkle Raptor.
Very good.
I can click that over here for you if you want.
Yeah, adding it to the side characters.
And
thank you.
So what do you do?
Oh man, there's so many people around today.
There's almost like a little block party going on.
Yeah.
It's a bunch of like paranoid, a bunch of conspiracy theory paranoiacs like out here, like, receiving their signals from the stars, and also a Psychic Narwhal Messiah.
Nathan doesn't know how to feel about the fact that he's probably the most normal person here. And is just kind of like walking around. This is such a Nathan thing. He's like, he does this at parties too. He's like floating around, except he doesn't have the drink in his hands. So he's just kind of like wandering around the room from like node to node, group to group, and just until he kind of like finds a place where he just settles into it, like just fits in. But he does know he does have to be with Psychic Narwhal Collective at some point, so he will meander in that direction.
And at some point you hear someone yell, "I think I got it." And then the like park sound system comes on and a bunch of lights come on. They've managed to get generators or something working out here. And there's now like Venga Boys playing on the sound system, we like to party. All that's going on, right? And everyone's like, yeah, woo,
Despite himself, Nathan smiles. Like this is actually like this is kind of cool.
Yeah. Lights are on. It's a weird mishmash of stuff. I think there's like an alien Jesus animatronic that comes on, and it's like kind of begins preaching, and it's a weird situation, but it's cool. And Sparkle Raptor says, "I told you this is going to be pretty awesome, right?"
Yeah, you weren't kidding. I didn't. Raptor, I got that now. And should it actually be like this, the claws, the hook?
Man, don't come at me with that science
Whoa.
stuff. This is a sparkle raptor.
Okay, why not? I love it. So, what are all these people doing here?
We all came to see the lights. I don't think it was these lights, but you know, the
Numbmates.
lights that are above the
Yeah,
park.
yeah.
Strange. That's what everyone's talking about anyway. I don't know.
Yeah, you haven't seen them before.
No, I told you we just heard about it at the juice bar earlier today, and then we came by.
Yeah.
You know, we were on our way back home to
Mhm.
LA. You look like you're from LA. Are you from LA?
Yeah, I'm from LA. I'm from Burbank.
Yeah, you've got that like struggling in LA look.
I wouldn't say I'm struggling. I'm struggling creatively, but financially doing pretty okay.
Oh, that's good. What do you
Yeah.
do?
I'm a background painter at Warner Brothers.
Oh, wow. Okay, cool.
Yeah, did you see Treasure Planet?
No, did anyone?
Okay, yeah, that's why I left Disney.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. So, but you worked on that?
Yeah, kind of.
Oh, cool.
But
That's really
yeah.
cool. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's great. I wish I'd seen it now.
It's actually really good. Definitely recommend it. I mean,
Yeah,
hey,
it kind of
not too
bombed
late.
at the
Not too
theater
late.
though, right? Like
It bombed because Disney sabotaged it. Don't tell anyone I said that. Though.
45% Rotten Tomatoes, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, the critics are assholes and they don't know what they're talking about.
Right. Okay. Well, you know, maybe just people weren't ready for it, you know? Like
You know,
everything
I've
has to stay.
heard the same thing about your band. Not an insult. I actually do like where kind of what you're doing with it.
Right. Yeah. Cool. Yeah.
Where
Cool.
where were yeah, no, totally cool. Where were you guys before heading back to LA? What took you out here?
Oh, you know, there's this like wellness retreat here. Like it's in the area. We were spending a few
Okay.
days there. It's called Converge. Have you ever heard of it?
Haven't heard of it. No, is that
Yeah,
like
it's this kind of like it's kind of fancy if you ask me, but
yeah.
they have a whole like it's all about like, you know,
What was
using sound and music to, you know, align your chakras or whatever.
Oh, so there was ayahuasca involved?
Definitely ayahuasca involved. Yeah, absolutely.
That's
Yeah,
cool.
yeah, well, yeah, it's not far from here. If you are as successful as you say you are, you could probably afford to go.
Not that successful, and also I don't really have an interest in wellness retreats.
All right, fair enough. Yeah, cool.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going over there. You want to come with?
What's
Pointing
over
to that
there?
nondescript cinder block building.
Yeah, if I die tonight, there are, you know, worse nights I could have died on.
Don't worry, you got the raptor protecting
So we are
you.
doing the single claw now. We are embracing science.
You know what?
I think
It's all
Alien
about
Jesus approves.
flexibility. Yeah, absolutely. And you go, Ashley. Where are you going, Ashley? You're at the camp. Nighttime's a little different, right? Like nighttime, the kids are sitting around fires, they're making s'mores, they're telling ghost stories, all that kind of stuff. In fact, you might even walk in on them right when they're telling a little story like that. One of the camp counselors is, he's like, I think it's Joey Keene, who you didn't meet, but who Topher met. Joey Keene is telling a story to a group of kids around the fire. He's like, now, have you ever heard the story of Murphy Street in Rio Canyon? One of the kids is like, I'm from Rio Canyon. He's like, yeah. Well, on Christmas Day in 1962, every occupant of every home on Murphy Street in Rio Canyon disappeared without a trace. Over 250 people. No bags were packed, no cars were missing, and in most cases, Christmas dinner was still in the oven. The only person accounted for on Murphy Street was little Tommy Vallejo, who police found carefully unwrapping his presents near his family's Christmas tree. And another kid's like, I've heard that story, that's not real. And Joey's like, shut up. And it's going on a bit. This is the story that they tell in Degoya County, though. Rio Canyon's a town, one town over. Anyway, what do you do, Ashley? You walk up in the middle of that.
I think sort of when it's over, like I'll have made myself known and kind of like sat down, sort of still under this. I'm gonna be a camp counselor too.
Oh yeah, he's like,
And I
oh hey,
think-
hey, did you decide to take the gig?
Hi. Yeah, I'm still thinking about it. I think so. I mean, I have a story too to share if you all want
He's
something
like, well, you gotta have a
scary to
camp
hear.
counselor shirt first. And he like stands up and like takes off his t-shirt, revealing his like golden
I'm
ripped
looking.
body, right? And he
Mhm.
sits down by the
Looking
fire.
respectfully.
He
Mhm,
tosses it to
mhm.
you, and it smells like Axe body spray and sand. And
Uh-huh.
do you put it on?
I put it on. Yeah.
He's like, all right, well, so what kind of stories you got?
Well, I'll tell a story about a little girl in Goya County who was told never to cry because there is something in the forest and it wants the taste of your tears. It wants your fears so that it can eat it and grow them and bring them towards everyone else. So that little girl, she never cried because as soon as she got sad, a single raven would tap on her window, letting her know that the forest was watching. But then something really bad happened. Something that even this little girl couldn't smile about. And so she started crying. And a single raven came like it always did. Tap, tap, tap. But the tears were too much. This time she kept crying and she kept crying. Tap, 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 tap. As more and more and more ravens circle until they all break through the glass. And then splat, 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 as they all start dropping little gifts for the girl that is finally giving the forest what it wants. And then amongst all of these, she picks something up. A single skeleton finger.
Do you
So
have
don't
it?
cry, kids.
Do you show the skeleton finger?
No, I'm not
No.
actually gonna show it. That would be, these are still children.
Daniel Kwan is there, and he says, my mom says you should definitely cry, not because you're going to be haunted by malevolent raven entities or anything like that, but because if you keep it in, then you're going to just not, she says that, well, you're going to grow up resenting everything and everyone in your life, and then you're going to take it out on your parents when you're an adult. So you got
Your
to
mom is very wise.
let it go, let it out, you know.
Mhm.
Takes a picture. And then one of the kids says, Joey, tell us about the prom at La Fresca. And Joey's like, that's like an older kid story. And they're all like, no, come on, Joey. Meanwhile, okay, Topher, I think your little friend over there wants to say something to you. You better hurry up before he's dead.
I think that Topher looks directly into the camera and says, Sean traded places with Elliot. He's real now. I'm not anymore. Didn't realize that's what it would really mean, but he's real now.
It's squelching you. It's squelching you, Steph.
Oh no.
Yeah, it's Zoom is doing its squelch magic.
Alas.
It was I
She's-
like that we got the idea though. So yeah. Maybe say again what you were saying.
He says, I traded places with Elliot, Sean. He's real now. I'm whatever he was, I think I'm it now. The lake wants you. It wanted me, but now that I'm this, it can't have me. You need to stay away from it.
Sean will kind of look up at Casey, who is still here.
No. You hear Casey down the hall where the bedrooms are. And you hear him say, Elliot, is that you?
Sean's going to turn away from the hall and look back at the TV and say, how do we fix this, Topher? What do I do?
There was once when
I'm sorry, there's nothing you can do anymore. Your friend is.
Shut the fuck up, Sherry. Topher, what do I do?
yeah, don't listen to her. I'm not dead. I think if I was dead, then it would be sort of different.
Oh, look
I'm
at that.
somewhere-
It's time to go to
somewhere
commercial
else.
break. We'll
Don't
be back in just a minute.
don't
Everyone.
change the channel. Don't change it.
Commercial break. Sean, you hear Casey opening a bedroom door.
Casey, don't come back, please. Just come sit here.
Sean, you just hear his voice from the darkness. I don't know what I'm looking at. But it's so beautiful. For me? It's for me? Okay. I just have to go in there? Okay.
Sean's going to get up and start walking down the hall. Don't listen to it, Casey. Whatever it's saying, don't listen.
This is the night move. What are you afraid is going to happen if you can't stop Casey?
Well, Casey and Sean will be joining Topher.
I think it's worse than that. Casey doesn't get to come back via any other means. Casey's just dead. This is just the house doing what the house does. Go ahead and roll with sensitivity. And I think because you're the next victim, I'm putting you at disadvantage.
Yeah, that is a 3.
You just hear him say, oh, Miss Head, what are you doing in here? And then just a sick squelching sound. Oh. And then a splattering on the carpet, a soft, dull splatter.
I think I'll put on the key of the
Turn.
cave dweller.
Turn the key of the cave dweller. Oh, very interesting.
Yes, turn.
The key of the cave dweller is one of our mystery ones. And it says, each latchkey narrates a flashback to a fun activity they used to do with their family while at home. Think on it. And instead, Sean, you'll get to rescue Casey, but you will be in pursuit, or you'll be pursued by Ms. Head. We'll come back to this. Topher, you are in the house, communicating through the TV, but you can move around the house. What do you do? Oh, you're muted.
Thank you. I think that Topher is going to try and help Sean out by I want to say that because Topher's kind of like this aberrant signal now, that maybe he could try and use that sort of extra planar like power, for lack of a better word, to try and turn lights on as Sean is walking through the house.
I like that. That's very good, actually. Yeah, I'm into that. I'll let that actually cancel out Sean's the next victim whenever Sean is going to have to escape from his head, because I think that's what's going to happen. But we'll come back to this scene in a bit. Nathan, you and Sparkle Raptor are at this fairly nondescript building.
So what is this
Uh,
place?
She's like, "Ah, that doesn't make any sense."
What?
She says, this door, this door is the same door that of the house I used to live in when I was in college. I know because it's the same color and it's got the same stupid wipe your paws cat doormat thing. Like what this doesn't make any sense at all. Is someone playing a joke on me? What's going on here? And to you,
I was about to ask.
it does not appear that way.
Uh-huh.
It appears as something, the building appears as some building from your childhood in Deep Lake as you get closer to it. What is it?
Oh, that's interesting. I think it looks like, I guess at Nathan's school, his art classroom was not, it was in one of those like mobile trailers
Oh yeah.
that some
yeah.
schools have. So it's looking more like the art classroom trailer.
Yeah, I love it. Make the night move. What are you afraid is going to happen if you lose your nerve?
There's so many things. I'm afraid. I think because Nathan derealizing, I'm afraid that he is going to fall into it blindly and just wander in with no awareness of any dangers that might be around.
It's worse than that. You are going to make direct contact with the anomaly in Starlight Kingdom.
Fun. Yeah, okay.
Roll
take it
with composure
disadvantage.
for now.
I take it I had disadvantage because I'm stacked right now.
Depends on what they are. Let me take a look at your conditions real quick. Starstruck, derealization, probably. Yeah.
Yeah, I figured.
Yeah, go
Do
ahead.
I have an item that would help me?
Yeah, now would be a really good time for you all to start working
yeah.
your items in. Yeah. Because nighttime is not playing around.
I have a wild idea, and I'll let you feel free to shoot this down. Is it possible that something that is tethering me to awareness and reality is that from my jacket pocket, I start hearing the Tamagotchi beeping?
Oh, I love it. Yeah, it's really
yeah.
good. Yeah,
Cool.
you can mark it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Gotta feed it. Gotta feed Tamagotchi.
Gotta feed it. Yep, exactly. Nice. Plus composure?
Yep.
12.
Very good. I'll give you a clue as well, but you otherwise will be able to keep it together. We'll come back to this. Ashley, Joey says, okay, fine. But do not tell Emily that I told you this story. Everyone, promise, do a hand thing to promise, whatever. And he's like, all right, 1986, the La Fresca Senior High. Hey, I live in La Fresca. Yeah, we know. La Fresca Senior High, as you all know, that's the high school everybody around here goes to because it's the only town big enough to have a high school. Prom night, 1986, ends abruptly when a fire breaks out mid-dance in the school's gymnasium. Over 100 students and teachers lose their lives that night. Curiously, not all of the victims die of burns or smoke inhalation. Several die from blunt force trauma. 2 from, that means when you get hit in the head really hard, like get hit in the head really, really hard. That's blunt force trauma. Pay attention. Several die from blunt force trauma. 2 from wounds that suggest an animal attack. And 1 is decapitated. What's decapitated? Daniel's like, that's when you get your head cut off I know because Joey's like, shut up. La Fresca was never the same. Even to this day, the parents of the murdered prom goers imagine they see their daughter walking around holding her severed head, her blue prom dress stained with her blood. Little sisters see older brothers wandering about in their tuxedos, seemingly lost, coughing from the smoke filling their lungs. I myself have seen one of the La Fresca High prom victims. No, you haven't. Yes, I have. In fact, I see her right now, right over there. And the kids are like, oh, and that's when Emily jumps out and scares one of the kids, right? Grabs them, they all freak the fuck out and run off. And Emily sits down and says, everyone ran but Daniel, of course. Emily sits down and she's like, so this is what we do. You sure you want to join the team still?
I think she's quiet for a moment and then just, yeah, it's nice to have a team.
Yeah. Oh, are you okay? Seems like you're a little.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
fine.
You can talk about it, Daniel's like, yeah, you can talk about it. You should talk about it.
Yeah, no, it's fine. It's nothing. Just was in a little car accident today, so I guess I'm like a little bit rattled, but it's fine. Nobody got badly hurt. That's important. I'm gonna have a really cool looking bruise. Do you want to see it, Daniel?
He's like, no, I don't think I could really handle that right now.
That is very fair. Good for you for knowing your boundaries.
Exactly. Meanwhile, Sean. Casey, how do you rescue Casey?
Do I see patient's head in there?
Yes.
I think it's very simply, he's going to grab Casey by the arm, yank him back, and slam the bedroom door closed, hopefully in her face.
Patience slams up against the door and she says, I've got really bad news for you, young man. You're not going to like what I have to say. Doors don't have any effect on me. I walk right through them. And you see her charging you down the hall with her knife. Topher, I love your plan of creating light in the house to help them escape. What does this look like?
I think that as Miss Head appears in the hallway, Topher puts a light on her just to make sure that they know where she is, and then immediately starts moving towards any light that's overhead or nearby Sean and Casey on the wall.
Yeah, that's really
As they
good.
turning them on and then letting them turn off as they fall away.
Creating a little path. I like it. Yeah, Sean, you and Casey are gonna have to escape. So it's gonna be vitality, night move. What do you afraid is gonna happen if you fail?
Gonna get stabbed.
Yeah, I think so. And I think Casey won't make it out alive. I will let you have it. I will have what Topher did cancel out your marked by patient's head condition. So go ahead and roll just straight vitality. Unless you want to, no, it would just cancel out. So yeah, it's just gonna be a straight roll.
That would be 11.
Nice, very good. Please go ahead and describe your successful escape.
I think he will kind of push Casey ahead of him, and as they go through the TV room, though, he's watching the television to see what's on it, and just barely catches back up to what's going on before dashing out the door with Casey and turning around once they hit the lawn.
Meanwhile, Topher, you hear a ding. Looks like our brownies are done. Let's go see how they turned out, folks. And Sherry, apparently her name is, walks over to the microwave and pulls it out. And she grabs the brownie mug and it's like bubbling over. It's just like bubbling, oozing over, like chocolate concoction in the mug. And she holds it up to you, Topher, and the bubbling brownie just goes, "I'm hungry." And then the show ends. Nathan, to me. You're going in. A question when you go in. What luxuries could your family never afford growing up?
I think Nathan's family could never afford. This is a little adjacent, but I think it works. Could never afford the luxury of eating dinner together. We never had a family dinner because everybody was either out or away, out eating in a different room. Never had that communal family kind of thing.
And I think when you walk in, you see it's changed from the art building to your family's dining room table, but it's in the art building, weirdly. Like whatever's going on here, they're getting some wires crossed, but you see like the dining room table, you see the tables all laid out with food, there's no one there. But then like all around it, there's like kids artwork hanging up on walls and stuff, and little stackable chairs and stuff. It's a weird scene. And Sparkle Raptor comes back to you and she's just like, she's got tears rolling down her eyes. And she's like, "Oh my God, this is better than the time we did peyote in Arizona. We have to come back, Nathan. We have to come back.
I don't think I'm seeing what you're seeing.
We have to come back. Will you come back with me?
When? Come back
I don't
here
know.
at this place? Why are we?
I don't know. Just to tomorrow night, next week. I don't know. We got to come back.
I mean, this is really weird. What do you see right now?
Happiness.
Not what I'm seeing, but I mean, a little bit of what I'm seeing. Not quite though. Did you just raptor claw me?
No.
I felt you just raptor clawed my shoulder.
Meanwhile, Ashley, the night wears down. It's just the camp counselors sitting around the fire now. They've already got the kids in the cabins and everything. Except for Daniel. Daniel's one of those kids that like, like the kid, like
It's with the grown-ups.
Yeah, I was this kid, like the kid who hangs out with the grown-ups all the time. Like that's what Daniel is. And so they're all just there and like they've got beers and stuff and they're like giving like shh to Daniel, like don't tell anybody, right? Especially don't tell the owner, Mr. What's his face, James, I think his name was. Mr. James. And Emily's a little, she's a little buzzed and she's like, "So what's really going on? You seem like something's bugging you."
No, I'm fine. I guess I'm just I wish I had more answers for you by now. That's it. I'll probably go to the lake in a bit, actually. Get some equipment for birding set up. Maybe I can find something.
She's like, "Let's take a
nothing.
dip. You want to take a dip?"
Yeah, sure. Yeah, let's do that.
Okay. All right. We're not supposed to after hours, but we've
Of
got Joey
course.
here. He can rescue us if something happens. Right, Joey?
Yeah.
Joey's like totally fucking blitzed right now. And yeah, and like she'll kind of like just take her, like she'll just kind of strip down to like her, bra and underwear, and then she'll dive in. Do you dive in?
Oh boy. Yeah, I think Ashley does like actually set up some equipment. Does the camera that Daniel gave me, does it like still have pictures? Can it still take pictures, or was
Yeah,
it like
yeah.
completely?
No, it's still got some space on the roll.
Then I'll just like click, click, click a little
Okay.
bit. And then I think there's this moment where she's like, oh, I really shouldn't do this. And then I think we see like this quick flashback of her and Nathan just screaming in the car, and the shirt goes off and she's going in.
Good. Go ahead and do the meddling move with reason. I'll see if you get a clue from the photos, which I'll give to you next time after you get the camera developed.
Sounds good. With reason. That is a 10. I really wanted to fail.
And per the rules of the mystery, you are now the next victim. Sean, you have
I
to
sure
you erase
am.
it, and Ashley, you put it on yours. And that'll conclude the night phase. Let's go to Dawn. Let's answer our Dawn questions. Also, some of you are probably going to owe me key prompts at some point before we wrap up today. Everybody does to do the key of the cave dweller. Did you resolve a mystery?
Yeah. Sorry, right before, I think I will actually turn a key to get a 12 on that. If that maybe gives me something extra. I haven't had to do any keys yet.
I will let you, I'll give you a choice. You can move the next victim over to Emily, or I'll let you find another clue.
I'll take another clue. I kind of like having the.
Just make a note that I owe you 2 clues. Put on the clue sheet that I owe you 2 clues. Let's go over to Dawn questions. Nath, or actually no, Ashley, were you vulnerable with someone, Ashley? I would say so. You resisted a little bit, but then eventually you dived in the water with Emily.
And I also think that in an odd sense, like the fight with Nathan is actually her
I think so
being
too,
vulnerable
yeah.
and like admitting that she doesn't want to be left and stuff.
Absolutely. Did you deliver a chilling monologue about something that happened to you in the past?
I think so. Like obviously the ghost story.
Oh, sure. Yeah, absolutely. Got it. And that's advancement for you, I think. Let's go over to Alex and Nathan. Nathan, did you cut loose for once?
I think
so.
Yeah, I think in the saying "fuck it, I'm going to Starlight Kingdom."
Yeah. And also just all the stuff with Psychic Narwhal Messiah, I think. Did you share a good memory from your childhood?
I don't think I did.
Okay. I think you still advanced, though.
I still advanced, though.
Let's go over to Topher. Topher, did you deliver a chilling monologue about something that happened to you in the past? Did you cut loose for once?
I feel like they were trying to with Elliot, but I don't know that they necessarily got there. They were trying to have a chiller.
I think it's in the same spirit. Yeah, I think you were. I think it's Topher's version of it, right?
Yeah.
So I'll give you credit for it. And Sean, did you go out of your way to reconnect with Deep Lake?
Before I answer that, can I make a case for Topher delivering the chilling monologue to Sean through the TV?
Oh yeah.
I guess
I'll take it. Things, yeah.
It is technically in the past.
Yeah, a couple hours.
Indeed. Sounds good to me. Did you go out of your way to reconnect with Deep Lake?
He did try to go to the his old cabin to see.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, you did.
Still there.
Yeah. Did you share a good memory from your childhood?
It was in the context of the nostalgic move, but like.
Oh, I'll take it. Yeah, I'll take it. Yeah. And Let's keep going here. Key prompts. Everybody owes the key of the cave dweller, and some of you might have other things as well. Who wants to go?
I'll do the key that I marked for the 12 plus, which is a flashback showing your latchkey kid routine whenever you got home from school. I think we see it's fairly late. The lights are flickering. The street lights are flickering on as we see Ashley come home, opens the door. She takes like a big step as if she's stepping over something to enter. And we see her kind of like plunk down her backpack. She takes out a packet of salt, another packet of salt, another packet of salt. And then she opens one of them and sprinkles it in front of the door and in front of the windows. And she kind of like makes her way all across like all the windows, all the doors. And then when she is done, we see her turn to the fridge, and there's like this mini choose your own adventure with post-it notes that is like, how hungry are we today? Option A, very hungry. Option B, not at all, just a little snack. She goes for just a little snack. And then it says, we want to cook, we want it easy, and just like all these options. She knows that both options are macaroni and cheese from a packet, but that doesn't matter. She's playing along. It's obviously like pretty neat handwriting, probably not hers. She takes the macaroni and cheese and she starts making it. And then I think there's a moment where after she's finished, she kind of like looks around the empty house, and then this look of thoughtfulness and then suddenly panic comes over her face, and she rushes upstairs and she holds kind of like the bathroom sink, and she kind of like starts shivering, and she just says into the mirror, I am Ashley Oakes, and the forest has no hold on me. I am Ashley Oakes, and the forest has no hold on me. And then, of course, we hear a single tap on the window, a raven looking up at her, and she stares back at it for a long, long time. And then it opens its mouth and simply says, signal received.
Very nice. Who else wants to go?
I think I can do the cave dweller. I think that we see Topher in the house on Rodenbecker Street, sitting on the couch. And a camera shift shows that there's no one on the couch, but an indent of someone on the couch. And the TV in Rodenbecker house turns on, and we see an image of a young Topher with his mom, dad, and little brother. And they are in the kitchen. They have the dungeon board game set up. And we see Topher make an exclamation. She said, dang it, stupid black pudding taking all my treasures. And her dad laughs and pats her on the head and says, well, that's why you shouldn't go into the higher levels of the dungeon, sweetheart. You gotta work up to it first. And his little brother kind of laughs and says, now I'm gonna win. And Topher kind of sighs and shakes his head. And his mom walks into the kitchen with a plate of pizza rolls. And as Topher reaches to grab one, I think the TV turns off.
I got one. So a flashback to the Toomey household, where it is Saturday morning, and You see Nathan. You see his mother, his father. This is, they're just kind of milling about in the background. Everything's kind of disconnected and just detached. Nathan's watching TV. His dad's on the phone, kind of pacing in the kitchen. You kind of see him. His mom is you can like out in their backyard, just doing some like morning gardening in their potters and their planters, I should say. And Nathan just kind of like reaches for the remote control and kind of like awkwardly just like pushes buttons here and there and just begins to channel surf, just different channel at a time, and then lands on Disney. And then you hear that distinctive bom 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 bottom, the intro of DuckTales. Immediately his dad puts the phone down, his mom like quickly jogs inside, and the Toomey family then enthusiastically, very loudly, all gather like dancing living room and singing the DuckTales theme song together as a family before the show starts proper, and everyone with a smile on their face just goes back to doing what they were doing. But every time DuckTales would come on, they gathered and sung that catchy tune.
In the Thompson living room, we see a long cable connecting an NES to the TV and two controllers plugged in. On the screen is an 8-bit game with some colorful figures moving around, top-down view, the word Gauntlet on the right-hand side. And we hear a voice and says, Sean, you got to stop being the Valkyrie. That's for girls. He's like, I like the Valkyrie. And the other voice says, no, do the Barbarian. You'll last longer. And camera turns around and we see Sean sitting on the couch with an older boy. Looks pretty similar to Sean. And their father sitting a couple of seats down reading a book. Why don't you play, Dad? Sean will say, and Dad says, no, it hurts my eyes. I like watching though. And as the Valkyrie gets killed again by a skeleton, we'll pan out to the window.
Yeah, I'll do mine too. I think we see little Ashley. There is pink frosting in her hair, just like white smudges of flour all over, as she is in front of a large, like sitting at a large table. All of these baking ingredients, there's cupcakes ready. Like the steam is kind of still going off a few, dangling in the air. And a beautiful woman who the resemblance is striking, I think. And I think she's laughing and saying, well, if you're gonna use that much, we won't have enough for all the cupcakes. Are you okay with that? Because you're not gonna be able. Don't cry. Don't cry if we don't have enough. I'm not going back to the store, okay? And Ashley just like kind of shrugs and she says, but I want it to be pretty. This one has to be really pretty because this one is gonna be for Daddy. So it has to be the prettiest and it has to have all of the frosting. It's okay if mine doesn't have one. And the woman laughs and she says, I mean, you say that, but then yours doesn't have any frosting and we have a problem. And Ashley just like shakes her head. No. I mean it. I just want Daddy's to be really pretty. And I think the expression on the woman's face kind of softens a little bit. And we see that Ashley, like frosting, has been trying to make this. I think she's like trying to draw a TV. And it's like, it's smudged a little. It's not easy to do with the frosting that she has in her little child hands. But I think even though this drawing is objectively pretty bad, the woman like smiles at it and she says, oh, that's really smart. He does love that TV, doesn't he? Well, he's gonna love it. And it's definitely the prettiest cupcake of them all. Good girl. And at good girl, we see Ashley just absolutely beam.
Fantastic. Are there any more keys? think that's everybody. In that case, we shall go ahead and go. We're a little past time, but we'll do a real quick stars and wishes just to check in with everybody. I'll start today. I really enjoyed this session a lot. This is great. Star for that like emotional scene between Nathan and Ashley. That was really, really great. Star for the there's lots of really good like side character interactions today, and I had a lot of fun. I had a lot of fun playing off of you all with some of the side characters. That was really, really enjoyable. I particularly enjoyed playing Sparkle Raptor. I enjoyed playing and that little dynamic. Casey and Sean was a great dynamic. This news lady and Topher was a fun dynamic in its way. And also the camp counselors too. There's just a lot of really like fun stuff going on with the player characters or the Latchkeys and the side characters today. I really enjoyed all that. And yeah, I love that you all kind of split up for the night phase. That was fun because we got to see a bunch of different things and different aspects of the mysteries and the story and stuff. So that was good. A lot of the scenes were very like just kind of really like kind of like, I mean, these characters aren't really like at a coming of age, but they're close to it. And there was a lot of like interesting like moments like that with the characters today, emotional moments and kind of like, kind of showing that these characters, their frontal lobes aren't fully formed yet. Right. And so we got a little bit of that in a lot of the scenes. And so, yeah, I just really enjoyed all that. And Wish, yeah, I'm really interested to see how Topher interacts with the Odyssey tapes. It's been kind of hinted at this point, but I'd like to kind of see it in action. I am really curious to see what the resolution of Escondido Street is going to look like. And yeah, but yeah, it's all good stuff for me.
Yeah, I think I just really love. I think like every session has really felt like an episode of like this sort of series. Like we started off with like introducing the characters fairly lighthearted. Then the second session, there was still sort of like that humor, but then like the creepy things were getting more and more. And then I think today kind of felt like that mid-season feeling of, oh, the cracks are showing. It's going down. And I think everyone just like did a very good job at just constantly kind of leading in to that rising tension that's there in the background or foreground with some of us. I really loved Nathan and Ashley just screaming their heads off. I thought their interactions were gonna go very differently, but I really kind of loved where it ended. Like yeah, that tension, and then like Ashley not coping very well with Nathan being so frightened the whole time. That was very interesting. Also, just like for Alex as a player, I definitely wouldn't do that kind of scene with just everyone because like you got to know that it's okay, right? To just sort of like start yelling. We were kind of going like at the same time, like that kind of not proper etiquette in a sense. But I was like, nah, it's gonna be fine. And I think you did so well, like immediately like knowing, okay, we're going for this kind of scene. That's what we're doing. And then immediately like playing off of it. That was really, really great. For Topher, for Steph, yeah, I love that Topher's in television now. Also just really loved the way that happened. I love that it was like this sacrifice. Like I thought it was gonna, happen in a much more creepy or whatever way, but I think this way like says so much about Topher. Like it's like such a character defining moment to be like, no, take me instead. And I really love that. If this was a series, I would have cried at that moment for sure. Just also really loved how you were going to help Sean with like what you described. That was super cool. I loved for Sean, I loved the movie bit that you did, and then also like you in the house. I love that Sean is like such a stable, understated presence. Also, you just go like, hey, shut up. Of course I can Topher back. Like that was so great. It's like, don't even try with me. Great energy. I love that. For wishes, I really want to see what happens when Ashley finds out Topher is gone. I think there's been some hints dropped that not necessarily a good thing for her. I would also, I guess, like Ashley hasn't been investigating that much, I think, because she kind of like tags along and goes with the people. So maybe like now that there's this tension, her like focusing more on investigating and getting to turn some keys would be very interesting, I think.
Yeah, you got 2 clues coming up too, which I think is, worth, that'll put you all really in good stead with the Deep Lake Lurker.
Yeah, I think resolving some stuff is going to be really cool.
I have. Oh, do you want to go?
You go.
All right. So I've got some stars also for Jazzy and Alex. That scene was incredible. Genuinely, like, oh, I get stressed sometimes when when I'm watching or listening to a podcast and I'm hearing the characters argue like that, because it's such a very like real visceral thing to feel, and being able to also like see like on your facial expressions like, no, this is a great time, we're having a hoot, and it's very nice to have that kind of like level of comfort in addition to that discomfort and that unsettling, like, oh no, my friends are fighting. Because that's the exact vibe that I got listening to that. It's like when you're hanging out with someone and they get a phone call and they start getting real mad on that phone call. It felt exactly like that, and I loved that. I also really enjoyed when the the maintenance worker was like, where are you guys going? Nathan just panic, west. We're going west. I also really enjoyed that he just started throwing it back while Nathan was crying in his Toyota Camry. Like, it's such tonal dissonance from that man. Oh man, Ashley forcing the introduction to psychic narwhal Messiah was also incredible. I really loved that. Also, all of the band members' names are perfect. They're so good. Oh, choice, so choice. And also just the phrase alien Jesus in and of itself is very funny to me. I really love that. And I am so like very deeply intrigued as well with Sean's character. Like there's a lot going on there that you can tell he's not necessarily, I don't know if he's not ready to get it out so much as he's not ready to admit that he's ready to get it out, if that makes sense. And it's like one of those things where, well, if I say it, that makes it real type thing. That's kind of the whole vibes that I'm getting from that. And I really love that. Just all in all, incredible session. I'm really excited to see, like Jazzy said, I'm excited to see like some interactions with Topher and Ashley now that Topher's stuck in a box. And just in general, all the interconnecting pieces and seeing just how it's going to work with like the chromatic desert and stuff I'm very intrigued, very excited for it.
Yeah, I got some stars, got some wishes. Star to Jason, first of all, for the car crash that you threw our way. Oh, he disappeared. I don't know if that means he's still here or not. I'll move on. I'll come back to Jason. Star to Sean. I love how Sean, Ben, the way you're playing him so far, is in the house. He's so like punch a ghost attitude, but both between like just fully just numb to the supernatural stuff, both with Case just saying to Case like, yeah, it's a neat trick anyway, moving on, and then the like points at the TV, shut the fuck up, Sherry. Like he's so like just blunt busting down past all the supernatural stuff. He's so done for it. I love it. Steph, the embracing the chromatic desert moment, like, was totally threw me for a loop, and I'm loving one that you came back from break with a TV filter around you. That's terrible. I'm in pain. But the narrations of what Topher is doing and how Topher is reckoning with this is like really cool. So seeing that actually like this move, because I feel like when you take the I am air move, it feels like it's such a contingency for like later in the game. Like, oh, later in the game I can do this. But like session 3 embraced it. That's so cool. And yes, it's already been said, but Jazzy, holy shit. Like that scene, I have a pit of anxiety in my stomach that like is like secondhand anxiety. Like I'm like feeling it right now, man. But like it was really cool that like, yeah, as was already said, like I typically avoid doing that unless I'm like, I know it's like super okay. And like that it's like, that's a thing that we're comfortable exploring. The second you started yelling, yeah, you are being a dick, I was like, oh, we're going here? Okay, great. So genuinely, I'm glad that that was okay, because I had a great time doing that. I'm also very excited to see how this affects. This tension is really cool. Yeah. And my wish, I'm excited for us to resolve a mystery, to see what happens there, get that out of the way. Oh, this house needs to fucking go. And I have a really great idea for a nostalgia move between Nathan and Ashley for whenever we want to explore the potential relieving of the tension. But for now, this tension, I'm like, good. It's such a good dynamic. I want to hold on to it for a bit longer, but I have something in mind. And I don't know if Jason can hear me, but I'll go ahead and just say, yeah, started for the car crash moment that threw me for a loop, scared the hell out of me. Also the cooking show narration, the whole like, oh, well, Casey Wilcox is about to die. Like that was such an It, like from the movie version of It recently, where it was like, where was the kids TV show on television being like, great job, Henry, kill him, just doing that whole, we're getting really into like the cosmic stuff now in this session, and it's really cool. I'm thoroughly creeped out.
Stars, as mentioned, that scene between the two of you, Alex and Jazzy, it was great. And
hey, sorry, I had to hand over the dog. So I'll watch whatever Stars and Wishes I missed after it's over. So sorry, continue.
Going just really hard with the car crash, and then the way that affected everyone's emotional state after was really good. I really liked seeing Topher see the big man before deciding, yeah, I'll go into the TV. And yeah, the way you handled it, the decision made, and the impetus there, it wasn't what we knew it was coming, but that wasn't what I was expecting to be what made you push that button. And having it just says so much about Topher, and it was really good. And also adds to a wish. We now have apparently a real live 10-year-old Elliot running around somewhere. That'll be fun. Maybe. I have a wish for I guess tomorrow morning when Sean gets to tell everyone what happened. And yeah, looking forward to seeing how this new dynamic springs up, and the way that everyone's going to deal with our friends dead. That'll be a lot of fun. Just looking forward to that, and I want to see Sean needs to meet the big man. So
Currently only Topher has, right? Has anybody else met the big man? Yeah.
Or
Nathan almost did.
Nathan almost did. Yeah. Yeah. Fabulous. Was that everybody? Stars and Wishes wise? Okay, cool. Well, I think that's all I've got for today then. So we will wave goodbye to people watching the video. Bye.